Hey guys, so I wanted to make this video specifically for someone who is recently diagnosed with IBD, maybe not even diagnosed yet, or is just having bathroom problems. So first I want to talk about just pooping in general and the way our society views it and the way a lot of people think of it, the way it's dealt with at schools. So straight away when you're a kid, if you fart in school, if you own it, there's that funny kid who can fart and it's funny. But most kids, like, it's mortifying and it is one of the most embarrassing things you could do. I'm thinking like kindergarten age, especially as a girl, if you were to fart in class, like your life felt like it was over, which is a real problem because it's something that everyone does. And I'm not sure what the solution of it is besides making farts funny, which I think a lot of people do. I'm really not sure what the solution is. But this is just something that we live with that I don't think a lot of people talk about, or I don't hear talked about a lot. The fact that something every single person does, and actually you need to do it in order to be a healthy person, is something we can't really talk about or makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So when I was younger, I would always just be terrified that I was going to fart in public or that I was going to have to poop in the bathroom at school and a girl would hear me and make fun of me. It was just a constant fear all throughout school, basically. But I remember it starting when I was really young. I also had these reoccurring nightmares that I still get to this day. I've kind of had them my whole life, always involving a toilet. It's either that I really have to go to the bathroom and can't find a toilet, or I find a bathroom and all the toilets are disgusting and unusable, or I finally find a toilet and start pooping, and then I find out a bunch of people are watching me. So this is something that's really deep in my psyche, and I know I'm not alone on this. And for the longest time, I could only poop when I was home. I would get really constipated because if I was sleeping over a friend's house or going out anywhere, I would not let myself poop. And over time, I trained myself to not fart and to not poop. And it's really difficult to undo that training, and I'm still working on it. And I think a lot of people say that what helps most with this is just age and growing older, and then you just care about less stuff. And this is something that I think a lot of young people particularly focus on. And at my age, what really helped me was having an ostomy bag, having my shit shoved in my face, kind of literally, because it's on the front of my body. That sort of made everything else like not nearly as big of a deal as I thought it was, because I was dealing with this. It's like, oh, you thought pooping was a problem before? Well, here you go. So something I do now to help with this is affirmations. And I just continually will tell myself, it's okay to release. It's okay to relax. Like when I feel my sphincter like tightening up, when I feel like gas coming, in that moment, I have to train myself and say, it's okay. It's okay. Like don't tighten. Like if you have to poop and you're around someone, or maybe you're at someone's house or at school, wherever you are, being super open about it and honest, it's refreshing. I swear, I talk about poop quite a bit, and I've had a lot of people tell me that they feel so much more comfortable talking about pooping now because of me. I'll just talk about it, or I'll say when I have to poop, or like if I have to pee, I say I'm going pee. If I have to poop, I say I'm pooping. So if you're in the bathroom and you're like, oh, I don't want to take too long, I don't want them to know that I'm pooping, a lot of times you can't poop, or at least I can't. If I'm feeling like really rushed, then nothing will come out. So as hard as it is to do, but with your loved ones and people you feel the most comfortable around, even if you don't feel comfortable on this level yet, maybe just testing that water and just telling them that you're going to poop. Saying like, I have to go poop right now, so that you feel like you can take your time. And the other thing I do if there's one toilet is asking the other people around me if they have to go to the bathroom. And if everyone says no, then I go and I feel free to take as long as I need to take. Another source of anxiety is when you know you've been in the bathroom for a long time, and then that thought of coming out of the bathroom. And like, what do? Do you like pretend that you weren't just in there for 20 minutes? Or do you say like, oh, my stomach hurts? Or like what do you do? At this point, I've made it a point in my life that I poop. Everyone around me knows this, that I talk about this, and this is what I do. So I don't really deal with this too much anymore. But I think my default is to just pretend it never happened. Like even if I was gone for 20 minutes, I come back in and act normal, act like nothing's changed. And that worked for me. Something else might work better for you. but just having that positive self-talk and those positive affirmations about what you're doing, because it is so normal to poop. It is like beyond normal. As many times as you need to say it to communicate that to your body, just keep doing it, because we have been conditioned to have like this shame around a natural, healthy bodily function. So we have to retrain our bodies and our brain that this is normal and this is okay. I know it's really hard, and us beating ourselves up about it makes it even harder. So as long as you can accept that this is something that you're scared of, that's okay. Just admit that you're scared, and that's where it all starts. You have to name it to tame it. I'll say it again. First, admitting that you have fears here, and then seeing what you need to do to work around it. A lot of times the solution will come out of nowhere, or once we face it, it really isn't that scary. So now I'll talk about some tips for dealing with bathroom issues if you're in school. As I said, I was diagnosed with colitis when I was 15. With the diagnosis of IBD, I could get this thing at my school called a nurse's pass. So I could basically go to the nurse whenever I needed to go. I would talk to my teachers at the beginning of the school year, let them know what health issues I'm dealing with, and tell them that I might just have to get up in the middle of class and go to the nurse. Hopefully you have teachers who really understand this and are really nice about it. You can also talk to your guidance counselor and let them know what's going on and see what they can do to work around this with you. So my school was super supportive of me, and they gave me a pass. I would talk to my teachers at the beginning of the school year and just let them know that I might just have to get up in the middle of class and leave, and that has to be okay, because sometimes it can come out of nowhere and you don't have time to raise your hand and wait for a response. So just letting them know ahead of time that you can get up and go to the bathroom whenever you need. Also, there was a private bathroom in the nurse's office, so I had free reign over that bathroom whenever I needed. Hopefully your school has some sort of private bathroom, and if they don't, do some scouting and find like the least used bathroom. Like a lot of times when I knew the whole school was at lunch or at one part of the building, I would make a point to go to the bathroom on the other side of the school so that I knew that nobody would come in. And if someone comes in, someone comes in. It's not the end of the world. If someone hears you farting and pooping, it's okay. You're not going to die. It's just a little bit embarrassing, but it'll build character, so it's okay. Always have a clean change of clothes and underwear with you, whether that's in your backpack or in your locker. Backpack is probably safer in case you're not near your locker if it happens. But I have pooed myself many times. So I actually just did a few days ago. And it's okay, it's not the end of the world. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's embarrassing, but it's what's happened. So you have to find a way to deal with it. And at the beginning of my diagnosis, I would not want to do that, because I would think that having the clothes there is like accepting that I'm going to poop my pants. And I really didn't want to accept that. And I learned the hard way that it's always better to be safe than sorry. So even if you never poop yourself ever, at least you have a change of clothes in case you do. I think everyone should actually do that. Another thing that's helpful if you're newly diagnosed and in school is to educate yourself on your disease, on what's happening in your body. Now, this can be kind of scary, and you want to make sure that you're not reading anything that's going to bring too much fear into your body. But if you're watching this video, you're already doing that. YouTube is the greatest source of personal experiences and personal advice that I think has ever existed. So keep doing that. Keep talking to other people who know what you're dealing with. Get advice from other people around you. Since this disease is so embarrassing, a lot of people don't talk about it or don't share their ideas publicly. So maybe see if there's a support group near you, or see if your hospital has an IBD support group. And you can get a lot of tips and advice from there. People will be a lot more forthcoming with their advice and opinions and experiences if they're talking to you face to face, or these days virtually, someone that they know will understand them, or someone that they know could benefit from their experience that they've had. So reaching out, asking for help, and educating yourself on the different options you have. So this next bit of advice can go for anyone across the board, IBD or not. This is helpful. If you're going to a place, map out the bathroom situation. So I would spend a lot of days going into Boston when I was in high school. And just sitting in a car for 45 minutes to an hour, I would always have to go to the bathroom basically as soon as I got there. Oftentimes what I would do is get off and exit before I got to the city and go to a Dunkin' or a Starbucks or some coffee shop or restaurant and use their bathroom. So that way, if there's a lot of traffic in the city or if I can't find parking, I'm not adding that extra layer of stress that I have to go to the bathroom and I can't find parking. You're just looking for parking, which is stressful enough. So that really helped me out. Also, knowing the area that you're going to, whether that's downtown in a city or to some place out in the country, knowing the stores that are around that area, knowing where different bathrooms could be. This is a bit of advice from my mom, is that sometimes the most public places provide the most privacy. So one of the best places to go to the bathroom in the city is actually in like the train station or in a really busy rest stop if you're on the highway, because people are in and out of there all the time. Nobody's paying attention to who's in what stall and how long they're taking on these. And I'm talking the bathrooms with like a ton of stalls. So it's not like you're holding up a line or anything. In my experience, the worst place to go to the bathroom is one of those bathrooms with like 2 stalls in it or 3 stalls, because then you can see everyone who's waiting. They know that you're in there. They know your shoes. They know how long you've been in there. They know what noises you're making. Those are the most stressful places to go to the bathroom for me. But a toilet's better than your pants, so we make do. But yeah, train station, rest stops, bus station, any of those super public places, libraries, department stores, hotels, and a few places that should always have a public restroom available. Bars, restaurants, coffee shops, all these places should have a public restroom available. I know things are a little different now because of COVID, but honestly, I've gone out around the city and I have not had a problem finding a bathroom. A lot of times, if you just ask, someone will have a bathroom available or know where one is. I know that Boston was doing this for a while, and I'm not sure if other cities do this or if this is even still happening. But at one point, there was a card that you could have that says that you have IBD, and any establishment has to let you use their restroom. So I know sometimes like a busy Starbucks or busy places in the city don't let you use their restroom. Obviously, some cities are better than others, but there are places that will not let customers use their restrooms. And in an emergency, you can show them this card and say, where do you go to the bathroom? Because I have to use the bathroom. I have Crohn's, colitis, whatever it is, and I have to be able to use your restroom. I've had to do that one time. It was a real emergency. There were no restrooms around, and they let me. I went down into the basement and I got to go to the bathroom. So hopefully that never happens to you, but if it does, I hope that you feel confident in sticking up for yourself and just, even if you don't have the card, asking someone who works there, where do you go to the bathroom? Because that's the toilet I need to use and I need to use it now. So hopefully that'll scare them enough for negative Yelp reviews or whatever that they'll let you use the bathroom. So another thing that'll be helpful to you if you're in school and dealing with IBD is being okay with taking time off and being really honest and open with your teachers and working with them on how you can complete your work in a way that is okay for you. So for me, I would flare up before every midterms and every finals. Without fail, for the 4 years in high school, I wouldn't be able to get off the toilet when it got close to midterms and finals because I was so stressed out and making it worse for myself. Because then when you're sick, you have all the makeup work to do. So I had a few teachers who were really, really understanding and nice about this, and they would give me work ahead of time. So I would just kind of work harder when I was feeling good and take time off when I wasn't. And that's just what worked for me. It might be more helpful for you to do little bits of work all the time. So understand what it is that you need in order to complete your work and to learn effectively, and communicate that with your teachers or your principal or your guidance counselor, whoever you feel like you can trust in your school setting. See what you can come up with together, because this is going to be a different situation for every single person who deals with this. So you really just have to do the work of working with what you got, working with who you've got. I missed 75 days my senior year of high school and I still graduated. And that is purely because of my communication. I was constantly talking to the guidance counselor, asking how I can make up different credits, constantly in contact with my teachers, letting them know if I was going to be absent or miss a test. And yeah, there were some teachers who definitely didn't get it, definitely thought I was skipping school. But like I said before, it's okay. You have to try to not let other people's opinions about what you're dealing with affect your stress level, because that just makes everything worse. So dealing with a chronic illness or an invisible illness where you can appear really healthy on the outside, it's so stressful to have to prove to someone that you're sick. So just don't do it. Don't worry about it. I've spent so much time trying to prove to other people that I'm not feeling good, or kind of over explaining what's going on with me, because I felt like I just have to say it so many times or say it the right way and then they'll understand. But if someone's going to think that about you, they're just going to think that about you. And there's honestly very little you can do to change their mind. So don't focus your attention there, because you're already stressing out about being sick and then stressing out about having to prove to other people that you are sick. You don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. I've been doing that to myself. It's not helpful. It doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. So focus on yourself, focus on those who see you and understand you, and just ignore the others. Put up that wall, learn to put up blinders. Still learning. It's a journey. So the last thing I want to make sure to say to anyone who's recently diagnosed with IBD or dealing with bathroom problems is don't let it define you. Don't let it control your life. And whatever you're doing, do it fully. So if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling sick and like you want to stay home, enjoy that. Don't stay home and wonder what it would have been like if you went out. Be wherever you are. So if you're home watching a movie, watch that movie. Enjoy that movie. And if you're out hanging out with friends, hang out with friends. Enjoy their company. Listen to what they have to say. Talk about what you want to talk about. Don't be out with friends and wishing that you stayed home. Train yourself to get to this point in your life where you know what you have to do when you have to do it. If someone asks you to come hang out and your first gut feeling is, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do that tonight, stay home. If someone asks you to come hang out and your first gut feeling is, oh, that would be fun, go do it. Don't overthink it and convince yourself to stay home in case you get sick. I've done that so many times. Just the fear of being sick again keeps me from going out and enjoying my life. And the more times that you can avoid that situation, the better off you're going to be, the happier you're going to be, and the more resilient you're going to feel. And you will start to feel this power of just knowing that you know what to do. And there's nothing that anyone can do to change that. If you really feel like staying home and you let someone else convince you to come out, you're just going to end up regretting going out, resenting that person for convincing you to go out, even though they just wanted to hang out with you. And it's not good for anyone. If you want to stay home, stay home. If you want to go out, go out. Just do what your first feeling is. Do what you know is right deep down. And if you find yourself explaining or rationalizing things in your head, let that be a cue to you to just calm down. Wait, what am I trying to convince myself of right now? But what is the easier truth? Like, the truth shouldn't have all these hoops to go through in order to get there. It's right there, and if you find yourself jumping through hoops to reach a conclusion, it's probably not your best option. So a lot of times, taking that step back, sitting with what your options are, listening to what you actually want to do, and doing that. Again, so much easier said than done, but these are all things that you learn over time. And having this chronic illness is really going to teach you to know yourself and trust yourself. And just remind yourself to be grateful that you've been given this gift of a sensitive body. Your body will never leave you off track. Your body may do things that aren't the best for you or might be painful to you, especially if you have an autoimmune disease. Your body literally attacks itself. So when the doctors have told me that my body is attacking itself, I'm doing my best to reframe that narrative as my body is trying really hard to protect me. It's trying too hard even, you know? It's overprotecting me. And what do you do with that? You slowly start to train it to protect when it needs to protect and to let go when it needs to let go. This is a lifelong thing. And accepting that I'm still working on it. And it's not something I can think about every day. nor should you. A lot of times I'll find myself spiraling if I start to think of, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. I'm going to have to deal with this for the rest of my life, especially when you're so young. So not letting yourself go down that road, and just take it one day at a time. If you're feeling good today, enjoy feeling good today. If you're not feeling good today, pray to feel better tomorrow. And that's all you can do. All you can do is your best. Play your best hand with the cards you were given. And honestly, when I look at the grand schemes of everything, I know that having an illness, having any sort of adversity thrown at you, is the biggest blessing. Dealing with adversity lifts that veil of fakeness that's across everything in our world, and just reminds you of what's important and what matters. So being so grateful for that, and keep reminding yourself of that. It's okay to forget it. Just come back to it eventually. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, or want to share anything about your own experience, if you have any tips that I didn't mention, leave them below. If you've tried out some tips and they've helped you or they didn't help you, let me know. And if you have any personal questions, always feel free to send me an email or a DM. But I'd love to get a conversation going in the comments of people being honest about their experiences with IBD, with pooping, with any sort of thing that's uncomfortable. Starting to just be open about that. And even if it's just to a bunch of strangers in a YouTube comment, that is a triumph. Being honest about what your life experience is so powerful, and it's only going to help you and those who read it. So think about that. If you feel called, leave a comment below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and you'll get notified anytime I make a new video. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.